Hey everybody, and welcome back for a brand new video. Happy Monday. Today we're going to give you a bunch of motivation and meal prep ideas. I was basically trying to put together enough meals with breakfast, lunch, and dinners, enough meals to get us through a long weekend. I really love to do meal prep and get pretty much everything that I need, like all the chopping, all of the peeling, all of the pre-cooking I can done, so that meals just throw together seamlessly. And when you do it batched like this, it just goes so much faster rather than having to do it here and there and then clean up every time. It's just nice to do it all at once and then clean up all at once. For this particular meal prep, I was actually getting ready to go camping. So I had just gotten back from the store here and I was unloading our bags. I did decide to pick up a few paper bags from my shopping trip because I wanted to use these for taking the food to the campground, because we were going to be tent camping this weekend. And so I did want to make things as simple as possible and not have to worry about the bags getting dirty or lost or whatever. So I thought paper would be the way to go. Plus, I can always use paper bags in the bottom of my composter. So I just decided to pick those up and then double bag it. And then I was going to bring everything in them to go to the campsite. So I'm just going to get everything situated. Anything that I was going to be taking straight there that didn't need to be prepped, I just kind of opened up and put into my bags. One thing that I did different for this camping trip as opposed to our others is I picked up some new color-coded plates and cups and silverware for the kids. I saw these and I've been on the hunt for something similar, but the fact that these all had their own color and everything matched, the silverware even fit together, I just knew these were going to be perfect for all the years to come of our camping trips. So our kids range in age from 8 years old all the way down to 3. So having something that they can recognize quickly as theirs really helps to cut down on dishes. And for camping, we only brought 1 plate, 1 cup, 1 fork, 1 spoon for each of us. So that really cuts down on what we needed to bring. And then also the dishes and also the trash too, because since we're not doing any kind of disposable cutlery, we just reuse it and we're not creating as much waste. So that's a win for me. One thing I did kind of compromise on was I did use some Ziploc type bags, and that's not something that I typically stock in the house. So I did pick a couple of those up just to help with the meal prep. And I figure since we're using reusable everything else, I was okay just having some balance and using those bags for the meal prep. I'm just getting out everything that I'm going to need for our meal prep today, and I kind of had it prioritized in my head how I wanted to start. I like to be super efficient when it comes to meal prep. I like to have an idea of what's going to take the longest time, what am I going to need to watch closer. I like to do those things first, because if it's something that I'm going to need to watch or something that you don't want to ruin. Like right here, I'm trying to get some parchment paper out to do some bacon in the oven, and you don't want to ruin an entire pack of bacon by forgetting about it. So I wanted to do that while I was in the kitchen, and since it's going to take a little bit of time, I also wanted to start that first. So I went ahead and I laid out my strips of bacon, trying to figure out how they would fit best in the pan. And the nice thing about doing it in the oven is not only do you not have to baby it on the stove or flip them, also you can kind of overlap them because they're going to just cook in their own grease, and they also stay really flat, which is really nice. So I just went ahead and I lined those up, and then I'm going to fry those, actually bake them in the oven. Makes it so much nicer when you're camping. You don't have to worry about cooking it. This bacon in particular I was doing for breakfast burritos, so I didn't care too much if they would be like hot and fresh right when we were eating them. We could just heat them in the burrito when we made them. Next on my list to prep was some garlic. I love garlic on pretty much anything I'm cooking, like salt, pepper, and garlic. Those are my go-to spices, and especially fresh minced garlic. That's just the best. So we want to have, even though we were camping, we still want to have like really good like home cooked meals and some really good flavor. So by pre-mincing the garlic, it just makes it so it's going to be super easy and chill for camping. And I was going to be using this not only to have garlic, like minced garlic that was fresh on hand, but also I was going to use it in my marinade. So it's going to be a dual purpose thing here. So what I like to do with garlic to peel it easier is I cut off the end, like the part that it's attached from the clove, and then I hit it with like the side of my knife, and then that makes the peel come off super easy. So that's pretty much what I'm doing with the big cloves here. And then I talk about this tool all the time in my Instant Pot videos, but I love my garlic press. It makes mincing garlic so fast and so easy, and it doesn't get all over your cutting board and like all over your fingers and stuff. So it's just like my go-to tool. And I upgraded my my garlic press, because the one that I have now, it does a really good job like of easy cleanup. So you can just press the garlic through it, and then when you're done, you just flip the thing back around the other way, and then it pushes those peels back out. So it's just my like new favorite tool, and I talk about it all the time, but it was just an inexpensive one that I found on Amazon, and I love it. So gotta rave about it.
I hate sleeping alone. I can never make it on my own. Tell me what I'm gonna do. Tell me how I'm gonna live my life without you. Yeah, tell me why we don't make sense. Tell me how I'm gonna get through. I don't wanna take another life without you. Yeah, tell me why we don't make sense.
Once I had all of that garlic done, I was trying to figure out what size bag or what basically to use to marinate the chicken in. And since I don't typically use like Ziploc bags, I was trying to figure out like what size and how much do I want to do. I started looking at these chicken breasts, and then I realized they're in a plastic bag, so I might as well just marinate them in that. And then I just put the bigger plastic bag on the outside of it. So I don't know why that didn't occur to me at first, but I definitely did not want it to leak, so I double bagged it. And then you saw I put in a pretty hefty scoop of that garlic into my chicken, and I'm also adding a salad dressing that I had on hand. This one's not anything in particular, but any kind of dressing that you have makes an excellent marinade, especially those like olive oil and vinaigrette type ones. They do a really good job of flavoring whatever kind of meat, especially like chicken. So I just dumped that in there, and then I did a good like shake and move around so that it would coat everywhere on the chicken. If you were going to be doing this for your week's meal prep, I would just go ahead and put it in a bowl in the refrigerator, like in the bag that it comes in, and then let it defrost. But since I was going to be camping, I actually just threw this in the freezer, because it's kind of always that's always the deal when you're camping. You want to keep everything as cold as possible. Usually it's on ice in your cooler. So I thought having it start out frozen would be the best way to go. Next up, I was going to be doing some meal prep for some tacos and for our breakfast burritos. So I took a big pork roast and I put that in the Instant Pot. Again, added some of that like fresh minced garlic. And I also, since I had bought a like family size pack, it came with two. You always get a better price per pound when you do that. I just took one and I freezed it, and then the other one was going to go to cook right now for our meal prep in the Instant Pot.
nothing could stop us. Sunsets, remember the colors. They were wrong, it was way more than a dream.
At this point, the bacon had just finished up, and so I was just taking it off the tray and putting it onto some plates lined with paper towels. The only thing that I really use paper towels for in my kitchen is for bacon. Usually I'll have to like go into the garage to get a roll of paper towels to do it, but it's just one of those things, you know, if I can like minimize some of the saturated fat by getting some of that grease off there, then I totally want to do it. So I was just lining those out and then gonna let them cool a little bit before I chop them up to make little bacon bits.
I'm standing on the dizzying heights. You make everything so much better. Riding high on your river, you and I, we're climbing way up together. Standing on dizzying heights. You make everything so much better. Riding high on your river, you and I, we're climbing way up together. Standing on dizzying heights. There's no going back, no going back. There's no going back to your old life. Not living in the past, we're over that. I'm feeling it tonight. We're riding on the dizzying heights.
To season the pork for our breakfast burritos, for our carnitas, what I was using was basically salt, a bunch of chili powder, and then also some cumin. And anytime that you're making anything in the Instant Pot, you do need to add a little bit of water. So in the very beginning there, I added a cup of water. And this is actually one of the recipes that I have in my Instant Pot ebook. If you guys didn't know, I don't know how you wouldn't know, but I am a huge fan of the Instant Pot. It is a lifesaver if you are busy, if you have kids, or just a big family, or just big eaters, or if you just like to meal prep. The Instant Pot is like, it's amazing. I used to think that the Instant Pot was like a crock pot, but it is like a crock pot that is just super fast because it seals. So it actually creates pressure in the pot and it makes things so tender, so fast. I love it. You can use it from everything from like boiled eggs to the pork carnitas that I'm making here. You can also make yogurt in this Instant Pot. You can do, oh man, the possibilities are endless. Soups in there. You can do even baking. I make cheesecake in mine. So I've got recipes for all of those and I will link a bunch of them down below, as well as my Instant Pot ebook too. It's called Instant Dinners and you'll find a bunch of quick and easy, like weeknight, busy, on the go meals. So if you guys want to check that out and see more of what recipes I have in the ebook, or if you'd like to pick it up, I will have that link down below and you guys can check it out. Of all the things that I meal prepped today, I think these eggs were the strangest looking thing that I did. There's just something about seeing eggs like not in their shell but all together see-through that's so strange. But I wanted to get all of the eggs like done and easy for the camping trip because, again, once you have eggs, then you have eggshells, and then you're making trash. And just doing it at home, I can put all of these eggshells into my compost and not have to worry about like cracking eggs, washing your hands. You can just literally dump them straight out of the bag. So that definitely simplifies camping. And I think too, if you're just trying to simplify like your meal prep in the morning, you could chop up, like let's say you like omelets, you could easily chop up your herbs. For a few days, you could chop up like veggies that you want to throw in your omelet, and even pre-cooking some of that. And you could even do, if you want to just like throw in a scramble in the morning really fast, you could crack your eggs, put them in a little mason jar, throw in some of those herbs, throw in your seasonings, and in the morning, all you would have to do is take your mason jar and dump that maybe with a little bit of this bacon, and then you could just dump that into a pan. And that is like just as fast as any of those like meal kits or any of those grab and go breakfasts. You literally could just throw it in a pan and cook it and have something that's like hearty and healthy and gonna keep you full for a long time. One thing that I've learned from camping with little ones, it's always to get as much prepped as you can before you go and keep things simple. And I think that carries over to just like our day-to-day life too. The more you can do at once, like the more you can prep at once within reason, like you don't want your vegetables to be losing like nutrients. You really want to only prep them for like the week or a few days. But the more that you can get done ahead of time, it's just going to make the healthy foods that you have seem that much more convenient. So you're going to be that much more likely to eat them. And if it's simple to put together, then you're going to be much more likely to eat at home and save money. And all it takes really is a little bit of pre-planning and deciding out ahead of time what you want to eat and what sounds good. And then really convenience, I mean, I would say for a lot of families, convenience just wins. Like when you're going through a long day or you've got a lot that your family is doing, convenience is always going to win. So make the healthy foods and inexpensive, like home cooked meals more convenient, and you're going to be a lot more likely to do them. So that's one of the big tips that I've learned. Also, you guys give the video a thumbs up if you're liking it so far. I haven't done many of these like meal prep, clean with me style videos, but if you're enjoying this, I probably won't have the comments back. They're still disabled as far as Sunday night, so I probably won't have the comments back tomorrow, but give it a thumbs up if you enjoy this video so that I know that you enjoy it. And then if you do, and I see a lot of thumbs up, then maybe I'll do another meal prep with me just on a typical week at home.
Cannot believe that what we had is now gone, and I don't know how to be alone. Feels like my heart is cut in half. What I want is to get back where I belong. 'Cause we don't talk that much and we don't share a lot. Even though there's nothing in it lasting lately, maybe we'll get there. I know you think of me 'cause I've been thinking about you. Even though we disagree on most things, baby, maybe we'll get there.
As you guys can see, our family definitely makes a lot of compostable scraps. That is like one of the biggest ways that we've been able to lessen our waste overall as a family. We ended up with like cutting things back and trying to make sure that we were doing as much like recycling and stuff. We have been able to do our trash pickup only every other week. And I think that the biggest thing that I can say that's enabled us to do that has been like composting our food scraps. That and avoiding like single-use items and plastics and things, just doing a lot of reusable stuff. But man, that like composting in itself, it really does get rid of a lot of your trash, because basically you're able to turn that into like fertilizer for your yard, for your trees, your plants. And if you have the space to do it, if you live in a home, I would highly recommend doing it. P.S. How cute are these kids behind me? This is Kaylee and Landon. My 3 and 4-year-olds are just jumping around singing. Whenever I'm in the kitchen, it seems like I always have an audience. There's always, you guys are watching now, but I've always got the kids watching and like talking to me, wanting to help. Usually they're like helping make some of the food too. Today I was trying to keep them out of the kitchen though, since I was like working with a lot of hot stuff and raw stuff. But I've always got an audience when I'm in the kitchen.
I don't know if you want get right back where we started. Yeah. 'Cause we don't talk that much and we don't share a lot. Even though there's nothing in it after lately. Maybe we'll get there. I know you think of me 'cause I've been thinking about you. Even though we disagree on most things, baby. Maybe we'll get there. 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 Maybe we'll get there.
Before I forget too, I do get questions about our composter fairly frequently. This black bin is actually not meant to even be a composter, I don't think, but I got it from IKEA. I really like it because it's got handles and it's pretty large and it fits under our sink. So you can use it if you want to put like recycling in there, or if you wanted to use it like we do for a composter. The thing I like about it, it's just big enough. It's got the handles, and then also it's easy to clean. There's so many things. I like too that it's large enough that it can handle like watermelon rind and like the corn husks, all of those things that we're like going through during the summer. And I can keep things in there for, you know, like a few days, banana peels, eggshells, all of that. And I can leave it under the sink for like 3 days without having to dump it, because the one I had before, it worked, but it was always getting filled up like in a day, and I don't always like to take it out every single day. So being able to go a few if I need to, that makes it convenient. Next up on my list for meal prep was to slice some lemons and then also do some lemon wedges. Something that I have put into my morning routine, like over the past few months, has been drinking a full glass of water with some lemon squeezed in there every single morning, like first thing when I get up. I think it's really important to be hydrated during the day, and I know I really struggle with it. And I don't like to like sip on lemon water. I don't love the flavor of it. But for health reasons, like I've heard so many good things about lemon water and drinking a bunch of water first thing in the morning. So even if it's a gym day for me, I will still do this. I just take a full glass of water, squeeze some lemon into it, and to simplify that and to make it easy for me to do that, to make it convenient, what I do is just put a bunch of lemon slices and lemon wedges in the fridge. And the lemon slices, I don't use those for juicing into the water, but I use those just in a BCAA drink that I use during the day. I've talked about that one in I think it was my workout like routine video. I showed you guys my gym bag and my workout routine. and I talked about that BCAA drink, and I love it. It's like a blueberry lemonade, and then I add lemon slices into it. So if I'm gonna make it easy for me to drink that, then having the lemon slices just ready to go in the fridge makes it so much easier.
So baby, find me somehow. Though there are millions in town, who would like to get to know you like I know you, touch you like I touched you yesterday night. I am under your spell, poison in my blood cells. You're the only drug that can save my body. Live and let loose now. Take a sip from the city light. You and me, we got the whole world, but let's make it our own. Strolling along the sidewalks, but you're running inside my mind. You know we got together, we will always survive.
These carrots that I was prepping here, these were actually for a stir fry that I was going to be making. The shrimp were all ready to go. I bought the peeled and deveined ones, so those just pop out of the freezer when we were ready to leave. But the carrots I needed to peel and then also just to slice them thinly. I like to do those at an angle because then you get them more thin. There's like more surface area on there. But these, I got the idea for this recipe from, it was my last meal kit delivery. It was from Home Chef. It was so good how they did that, like just sauteing the carrots with like a little bit of, you can do teriyaki sauce or soy sauce, and with shrimp in a stir fry. The meal kit used bok choy, and so I love doing it with that. I wasn't able to find it at the store that I went to this day, but I really wanted to do the carrots again because it was just so good. And I think that carrots and like onion are really good together with any kind of Mexican food too. So like just cooked carrots alongside tacos. I don't know why I like that, or if other people do too, but for me, it's just like they totally go together. So I was feeling the carrots and I wanted to have that all meal prepped and ready to go. Speaking of Mexican food though, our carnitas were just about done at this point, and I actually let them just kind of sit in the Instant Pot a little bit longer. I didn't realize they were done. So I needed to release the pressure there and then take that roast out. And I also needed to make dinner for tonight. So I went ahead, took that carnitas roast out. You definitely have to let that cool for a bit before you shred it. And then I put some ground turkey into the microwave to finish defrosting that. And I had put my Instant Pot onto the saute function. So with a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of that, I just kind of turned the pot to make sure it coats the bottom. And then I threw in that ground turkey, just kind of crumbled it in there. And then I was going to make my one pot spaghetti. This is another one of those recipes that's like a super easy, or what I call an instant dinner. This is also in my Instant Pot ebook, and just an easy like one pot meal that you can do for your family. And the thing I love about it is you don't have to worry about like cleaning a strainer and like straining the water from the pasta and all of that. It's like such an easy recipe that you can do just all in the pot. So again, that's in my Instant Dinners ebook if you guys want to check it out.
Don't know a thing about what this is like. I don't want to think about what's ahead. I'm here now, 'cause I've always wanted to feel alive. Live in the moment, let the future arrive. I'm gonna tell the world the way it's going down. Let tomorrow be tomorrow, right here now. Won't let them bother me, I'm not gonna waste my time. Come and join and get it started in this town. I'd rather be fun than what they say won't be safe and sound. There's time for that, but not now. And while we are young, let's be stupid, just you, me, and the night. The one thing we should know is that we got plenty of time. That we got plenty of time. Yeah, we got plenty of time.
Now I was pretty much done with meal prep for the day other than shredding those carnitas, but I did that after our dinner. So I was just checking off everything that I had on that list. And then I wanted to show you guys everything that we got done. We had the bacon, I was bringing soy milk, we had cilantro, the eggs, we had corn on the cob, we had carrots, broccoli, shrimp, chicken, and then also the carnitas that I was gonna shred after they were all cool. And I wanted to give you guys just the list so you can kind of see how I was organizing that too. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Also, if you guys are curious about how we budget for our family of 6 when it comes to grocery shopping, check out the video on the left and a recent cleaning video on the right. See you guys soon.